Chapter 23. Stephanie lay limp and gasping as she waited for her body to relax enough she could control her limbs again. That hadn't been what she had in mind when she'd said she was going to bed, but there was no way she would complain. She turned her head slightly and saw Noah's face half buried in the pillow, and slack with relaxation as he slept. She couldn't wait to curl against him and join him, but first she had to pee. She edged herself out of bed, careful not to disturb Noah, though she suspected a bomb could go off in the room and he wouldn't know, and slipped into the restroom. When she returned, she glanced at her discarded pajamas and considered putting them on, then dismissed it. She would rather feel his skin against hers. Turning off the lamp, she slipped back into bed and snuggled up to him. "There you are," he mumbled as his arms went around her and pulled her close. Steph fell asleep listening to the steady thump of his heart beneath her ear. Steph opened her eyes to find Noah's dark eyes watching her. "What?" She frowned. Why had he been staring at her? "Nothing, just noticing how peaceful you look while sleeping." "That's a little weird." "Not really, not from here. Now if I'd said it after watching you sleep through your window, that would have been weird." He gave her a lopsided grin. "Now that you're awake, we can get moving. What do you want to eat?" He hopped off the bed, grabbed his jeans and pulled them on. "Oh God." She buried her face in the pillow. "What's wrong?" Noah sat on the side of the bed and tried to peel the pillow away from her face. "You're a morning person." She groaned. "This may be the end. I'm not sure if I can handle someone this chipper in the morning." Noah chuckled. "It's not morning. It's late afternoon." "What time is it?" "A little after 5. She mentally counted how long they'd been asleep. A little over 6 hours. Sitting up, she remembered she didn't have much food in the place and that she'd planned on shopping today, then fell back against the pillow groaning again. "Would coffee help?" Noah said from the doorway. "I don't drink coffee." Steph didn't even open her eyes. "Then how about one of your energy drinks?" "God yes, but I'm out. One of the things I didn't get done today was grocery shopping." "No problem. I'll go get coffee and your drink. We can shop later. The place across Campbell is open 24 hours. I shop there at 2 a.m. all the time." "Okay, do that. I'll try to get moving before you get back." "Where are your keys?" "I don't want to leave the door unlocked while I'm gone." "Clip to my purse, just take the whole ring. I won't be needing them before you get back." "Are you sure?" He sounded hesitant. "Do I look like I'm moving anytime soon?" She opened her eyes and stared up at the ceiling a moment, then heard her keys jingle and the apartment door open and close. With a sigh, she pushed herself up out of bed and staggered into the bedroom. She really wanted another hour or 3 of sleep, but it didn't look like an option, at least not right now. Catching a glimpse of herself in the mirror, she jumped then blinked. Maybe a shower was in order. She opened the bathroom door and stepped out. She'd forgotten to take clean underwear in with her, and was wrapped in a towel with another wrapped around her hair as she ducked into the bedroom. She stopped short and let out a scream as she encountered someone in her room. It took her a second to realize it was Noah. Her heart thundered in her ears as she tried to catch her breath. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in the shower. I was bringing you your drink." He held up her rockstar. "I thought you would be gone longer." She took the can, popped it open, and took a long drink. Babe? I think you forgot something." "What?" She looked at him with one lifted brow. His gaze skimmed downward, and that's when she realized she'd dropped her towel when she'd been startled. Her face heated. She bent and picked up the towel. Instead of wrapping it back around her, she tossed it across the chair and went to the dresser. It wasn't like he hadn't seen and held it all anyway. "What's first?" she asked as she stepped into her underwear and slid them up. She turned to find Noah watching her, his mouth hanging open. He glanced up and realized he was caught. "Did you say something?" I asked what's first. She shook her head and wondered what it was about men that let them block out everything else when they were focused on something. "Food. We can go grocery shopping, but it's what? 5:30? 6. It's going to be packed in there, and getting across Campbell will take 30 minutes. Not groceries. Food. I'm hungry." Steph gave a low laugh. "All right. I could go for food too. What do you want to eat?" "I'm trying to decide between burgers or Italian. Do you have a preference?" Steph wrinkled her nose. "I don't feel like burgers right now, but Italian sounds good. Do you have someplace in mind?" She went to the closet and pulled out a pair of jeans. "Old Chicago." She turned and pinned him with a disbelieving look. "That's across Campbell, it will take forever to get there." "Nah, I know how to get there in under 10 minutes. If you say so." She stepped into her jeans, then pulled out a loose t-shirt and put it on without a bra. "You do that often?" Noah asked as Steph settled the hem of her shirt around her hips. "Do what?" "Go braless." "Every chance I get." "Why?" She turned to watch him. "Because now every time I look at you I'm gonna think about it, ask myself if you've got a bra on or if your breasts are hanging free and waiting for my hands." Steph rolled her eyes. "You seem to think that will be happening again. Between you telling me you weren't looking just to get laid, and the way you screamed my name, I'm willing to say it's a good bet." He wrapped one arm around her waist and pulled her against him. "I'd prove it to you, but I'm starving." He tugged on the neckline of her shirt and looked inside. Just as tempting as I'd pictured." Then released her and looked her up and down. "You still need shoes." He left her standing there, her mouth hanging open, as he disappeared out the door. All right. She couldn't help but laugh. She got the distinct impression this was half an act to amuse her. It worked. She found a pair of sandals to slip on, then went to tell him she was ready. Noah opened the door but didn't step out. "Were you expecting a package?" He bent to pick it up. Steph stepped back and watched as he set an ordinary-looking box on the table where she kept her purse. Something wasn't right. It took her a moment to figure out what it was. She took another step back. "What?" He looked at her, creases forming between his brows. "Deliveries go to the office." "This is..." Noah trailed off. "Probably from Eric." She finished for him. "Has he left things for you before?" "Just a rosebush at my folks'." Noah looked up, his face serious. "You told me about this, didn't you?" "Refresh my memory." "The day after you left." She told him about the wind blowing it against the door and how she'd been scared by the noise, then how angry she'd gotten when she read the note he'd left. "That's when I decided it was time to come home. I realized I was letting him control me. Not even by making me fear what he was going to do next." Noah looked at her, then down at the package, then back to her. "I'm not sure if he's watching the place or not, but this wasn't there when I came in with our caffeine. He's been here in the last 15 minutes. Steph turned around, went to the table beside the couch where she'd left it the night before, picked up her pistol, and tucked it into the outer pocket of her purse. "I think I found what we're doing after dinner. Do you want to see what's in here now or later?" Noah looked down at the box again. Later. I'm not going to let him and whatever psychotic thing he's done now upset me right now. All right. Then let's go. Noah opened the door again, stuck his head out, and looked around before he stepped out and held the door for her. Once she'd locked it, they headed down to his truck.